Right. I'm that girl who is sending so much love to you all, especially the trolls. They need the most love. This is serious, right? We all can see it. They are so hurtful, so hateful, so reactive, and so much pain. We can give them this horrible label of, labeling them as being a troll, but whatever those hurt people's official deal is, we are here to love them, all of them, right? Like, because we have been there. We have been those reactive, very emotional, very fed up, given up people, and their attitudes are kind of letting them down, obviously, because they can't understand the lessons that they are giving themselves as they are, having fantastic 3D lives like the rest of us. And we've learned, we've grown, and we are really the sum of all of our choices. And so, look at where we're at today. Have we been dragged kicking and screaming into these lives, or have we been consciously aware that everything we've ever made up to this moment in time has been for our choices? Well, we may feel like, well, my partner wanted to live here, or so and so and so. We all get to be a part of this. We either agree or disagree. Choices, right? So fantastic times. So all is well, all is well, all is well. And it has to be, right? Because we know the shift is happening. We see people shifting all the time. And, the earth is shifting all the time. And we're aware of it. And we can recognize when these bigger events are occurring and these bigger groups of people are shifting. Of course, you can have those skeptics that say, well, earthquakes have been happening the entire time. That's true. But it's an important time, isn't it? And so you could still say you're living your best 5D life here on Earth, and those people who shifted are just the scum of the earth. Okay, that's interesting. But when we ask about insertions, we know that they are graduated. Some of them will still need to go to other 3D planets. Some of them get to go home. Some of them get to go to their own home planets, which are various different. I guess there's only 3D to 5D physical planets potentially, because everything else above that is non-physical. Mist, frozen water, running water, it's all the same water, right? It's just different formats. And so when we recall and feel into what source energy is, that's quite fantastic, isn't it? And so that's the big deal, the highest frequency that we could achieve, currently aware of in my 3D meat suit. So what I wanted to do for you today is to be able to channel, and I wanted to be able to show you guys the channeling once again for you who wanted to check it all out. And so I do me, and this is not necessarily how you want to do it. We're not trying to be carbon copies of each other. We're trying to empower ourselves independently, individually. And what works for me may not be for you. So I would highly recommend, if you did want to start channeling, try to do a few sessions for yourself in terms of free, allegedly, and then be able to feel into how it is for you, where it is that you're connecting into them, and what you're noticing. So when you're having a session, remember, you're channeling. At the beginning of QHHT sessions, you explore other lifetimes. And so you're consciously being prompted to these little windows of little experiences that are pretty significant. And, you journey for that for an hour. After you come off the clouds, drifting and floating and drifting, it's a fantastic script. Dolores did really well with that. And as we know, Dolores said that anyone can use any script to get the client at the level where they need to be able to channel and connect into. I think, she called it the subconscious. We sort of label it Mr. SC or the SC. Some people call it the oversoul. Some people call it the higher self. Some people call it sweet baby Jesus, whatever the labels that you desperately need to identify your connections. But I think when we are looking back with them, we will see it's a party line. It will never just be one soul that you can connect in with. And I don't even know if it's truly possible. There's always watchers and observers. They're watching us constantly. And this is why when we say, I feel so alone, it's almost laughable for them. Not that they're laughing at us, they're laughing along with us when we get the joke, when we're looking back at our life review and being able to see it from that perspective. So anyway, So I was prompted once again to be able to connect in with them because they have stuff to say always, right? They're very chatty. And I just was like, well, what do you want to talk to them about today? And they said love. And I was like, well, that's not new, is it? And they're saying, we just want to be able to celebrate and support and love and cherish you all. And this is something that they've got for you. So that's beautiful. And wherever you are on your journey, whether you are completely independent and celebrate your own empowerment, love yourselves completely, and don't need outside external gratification or confirmation that you're amazing, because it's not possible for you to not be amazing. Even the trolls are amazing, right? They're amazing to be here. Souls who are here right now, amazing, right? Like, I mean, it's all perspectives. We can judge the crap out of everybody. We judge ourselves, we judge others. But when we know everything is purposeful and significant, and these are lessons for us to remind ourselves to love each other, love everyone's behaviors and attitudes, love everyone's free will choices, love everyone's inner work that is still out due and still, they're on the journey. We know we wouldn't want to be judged when we were kind of halfway through our journey, and especially if you're doing it publicly. So, in any format, when we are still on our little baby steps of an empowerment, and there's lots going on. And if you wanted to expand your metaphysical perspectives, that's fantastic. But it's almost endless. There's so much to learn and think about and apply and process and expand upon. And it can feel overwhelming. Some people don't want to know the details of certain things and just kind of Miranda through life like that and kind of accidentally pick up some beautiful nuggets of spirituality and perspectives that kind of help them on their tool belts. And that's perfect, because I think if we are supposed to know more information, we would have been thrown heaps more information. I know quite a few people get introduced to certain concepts and sessions and books and a whole lot of stuff, and they don't kind of really want to go into it, and I'll do it later when I'm retired kind of thing. And the teams are great, really great at presenting us the information and the messages we're supposed to get. And if we just distract ourselves and don't pay any attention, the teams will observe that and respect that, but then give you more prompting and prompting and prompting. And it doesn't seem to get softer. It kind of gets louder, or the pressure builds up. And I know when I can feel stuff, when they're wanting me to share and channel for you guys and for myself and to do sessions, I can feel this built up energy, and that they are sort of tapping me on the shoulder, kind of get in here. We want to get in here. We've got some stuff to say. And that's part of me being of service, and I'm here for it. And so it was really interesting the days before the bigger earthquake recently, where I felt the push coming from the other direction, which I would say is sort of the conscious collective direction of humanity versus, say, the conscious collectives of our collectives that we call collectives. So that's the Victorians. I would, lazily label them and guess them to be. So it's very interesting indeed. And so I could notice that, and it felt heightened. And just this, let's get this show on the road feeling. And it's nice to kind of be in the middle, because it's not coming from me. When I was struggling and just had some experiences going to the New Earth and was like, oh my God, it's amazing. Let's go there now. We all should be there now. It's so exciting. And you sort of feel like you got this ticket to go, and it's kind of like, well, that Christmas is coming or something, where you're really excited, and it's kind of like you're just sitting there waiting. And a few times throughout the years, I have just been like, I want to just go now. This would be fantastic if we just all went now, actually. It's been fleeting moments, but it kind of feels like my own personal irritation of just when are we there? This time it was nice, because I could notice it coming from another aspect. And it was like, oh, this is not me. This is not my internal drive. And so it was great to be able to feel the pressure of it, but not be emotionally, personally creating that pressure. So something for me. It was very interesting. And so it didn't surprise me what they were saying in the session when they were channeling, which was they've also noticed that. And so it's so amazing how connected we are. And this is exciting. I mean, of course, people who think she's hideous. She's excited for people's exit points, which means death, by the way. Did you not know? Yeah, I'm not excited about that. I'm not excited about people being super like in chaos and emotionally traumatized. Like, yeah, I'm not that sadistic at all. And it is just life could be chaos. And when we don't have the right sort of perspectives to keep ourselves at a higher frequency and understand what's happening and why, yeah, it's going to look fucking dramatic and hideous and horrible. And I mean, we're all victims to our own choices, and we're all victims to our life contracts, we could say, in human form and human perspectives, and with human feelings and human bodies and all this stuff, right? Like, we definitely could label ourselves as being victims, but there has to be a point where we need to be mature and understand the significance. And I think this is why we've awoken, whoever's listening out there, honey. Oh, great time for some water. I don't know if you'd hear that plane going past, so I don't really want to have to speak while the plane's zipping past, and I try not to have too much background noises. When I'm going to channel, I'm going to put my headphones on. I was really surprised the other day because Grayson was having a conversation with me as the chicken was inside our house, and I was talking to you guys again, and he was talking and I had my headphones on, but it didn't pick up his sound, which I thought was really weird but awesome at the same time. So it just sounds like I'm talking to you about having a chicken in the house, but of course you wouldn't have known that we had a chicken in your house because you didn't even hear the chicken or my son. So all right, so I'm going to get over it, move myself out of this, and trust that they've got some beautiful conversations to have with you. So I'll see you on the other side. Just get my things all sorted out. It's hot here too, so I've got my window open, so I hope it's not too noisy. Oh, okay. Yes. We are here. And we did prompt you when you were watering your gardens and you're grounding yourselves, because you do these things that give you joy, that replenish your plants, that give you joy. And you were taking this brief moment to be able to feel into the luxury that you have as you're enjoying your beautiful day and the events you've had earlier today when you were in nature and you were noticing and observing your children and having beautiful conversations with them. And as you were out watering your tomato plants and observing the growth, you had that moment of reflection of just being in joy, being in peace. And that is when you are the most connected in with us. And you could feel us say, we have messages to share, because there's always messages to be heard, because we have so much messages to say and share, which is, again, our deep love and compassion for all. And we are wanting to remind you, for some of you who are stuck and seeing the significance of being here now, when you were with us and when you were playing the roles with us, being the guides for other living human beings, because while you've explored being in different lifetimes here on earth, you may not have explored what you do in between what you call your afterlives. And you watched and you watched and you observed and you observed and you observed, and you missed those who had forgotten who they are, forgotten who they is. They were just there meandering through life, lost, dazed and confused, and completely forgetting what they wanted to be here for. And so you lovingly guided them. And these are your soul family. These are your soul friends. These are your brothers and sisters. And you would watch them live their lives as they were having independent experiences from you, as you were recovering and learning and prepping for your next lifetime that you would have, and you were writing your life contracts. It is not a simple thing where you just jot down a few fancy ideas and then jump into a body. You take the time, you explore and learn through others who are living these lifetimes, and you're observing and you're pondering what's next for you. What opportunities do you want for you? Some of you have been so distraught seeing the human free will choices completely distract you and take you off path and make it so much more harder. And when you have a life contract that is beautiful, poetic in its divine plans, then it's not just one soul that plans these life contracts. This is with all that you love and respect and honor, that you would have all these connections with each other. And we are messaging you and we're wanting to say to you, we are seeing you and some of your choices. And when you are back with us, which we cannot wait, when you are back with us and you were going through your life reviews together, you will understand again what you have struggled to understand being here with just us and not living in other lifetimes, not physically, but guiding physical beings, guiding soul family who are so brave to be here now. You are here now. That counts for something. That matters. Because you knew what you're capable of. You knew you could be here to assist and support those who you suspected would struggle and suffer, who would not be able to understand the significances and get too stuck in density once again. And this life matters. Now matters. Your lives matter. All of them do. All of them do. Those who are triggering you to awaken with their control systems, their lives matter. Their life contracts matter. Those who are playing the role aggressively, what it could seem, to awaken people to their agenda, which is our agenda, to awaken you to see, to highlight blatantly in front of public, provable evidence of what has been happening at a heightened and highlighted format. It was always supposed to be an independent journey to empower yourselves, to fine-tune your 3D lives with intuition, to be able to grow and expand upon and still find your senses and find your soul, to connect in with us, to still be here with us while you're there. You're never supposed to ever be alone. This is in your life contract for us to find you. We found you. We found you. And you can hear us. Because we wanted to support you. And we found ways to do this without breaching your free will, without distracting you. It is about finding your faith and trust again within yourself, with your intuition, because the truth is all within you. It is deep within you. And the more you heal yourself, the more you trust yourself. And we are saying, please heal. You can heal. We have seen your entire lives, and there's nothing you cannot get over. There is nothing that has happened to you that you can't move on from. There is nothing that has happened to you that you cannot heal.
You're so capable of healing yourselves and you're so capable of loving yourselves. But the best gift you have right now for this lifetime is to love all. Because you saw all the lifetimes where others were struggling. You saw it, you felt it, you could see it, and you could not do anything. And this was your driving force to be here now, was to do something. We feel like our hands and arms are tied, and it's ironic, but we don't have the hands that you would assume we do. We are not able to touch you as such, but energetically you can feel us. And as we observe you and watch you, like you have done to many of us when we were on our life journeys, this is the role we said we would help you with. This is the play we're doing. And we're not there physically. Not all aspects of us are. But we come through and give you messages in many different forms, many different ways. But what we want for you and from you, because you asked us to remind you when you were with us, don't let me get lost this time. Don't lose me. Never leave me. And we haven't. We never did. We never would. We've been here. We've always been here. And so even if you're still not able to understand the perspectives and the purposes and the lessons and the reasons for some of the bigger tragedies in your life, go back, rethink about it, and trust we were there. We would never have let anything that you were not supposed to experience happen. Trust us on that. We would never. Everything is purposeful, that you remember, that you experience. And when you learn the lessons, when you understand the significance, that makes sense. That's when you can heal. That's when you can empower yourselves to grow, to be able to understand and recognize it, and to be able to support others who you can sense and feel are going through the same journey that you have, going through the same steps that you have, because you wanted to experience so much more faster and quicker to be able to support others. You wanted those lessons fast. You wanted those lessons hard. So you could be forced to grow, to empower yourselves as fast as possible, because you knew you were here to be of service. You knew you were here to lead by example and to show others the way, to show how to have compassion for all, to have acceptance for all, to feel into your intuition for all, and to be guided through your own sense, guided through your own intuition, and not bow down to peer pressure, not get coerced into the systems that have never seen your soul contract, never seen the power of who you are and why you are here. The system has taken over in its own form. And those systems are collapsing and being exposed. And so for those who have only empowered themselves through these systems, they are feeling very vulnerable. And this is when you could, with your human egos, label those people and those reactions as trolls, as cactuses, as hurt people, because they have a strong intuition that maybe they've gone in a wrong direction. And you never go in a wrong direction. You have experiences enough to be able to make the choices to grow into new experiences. We see some egos committed to one cause and will never want to accept that they potentially were disempowered or given disinformation. Their pride will not let them change. And we're saying to those souls, it is okay to grow. It is okay to change your minds. It is okay. It is okay. It's always going to be okay. You had to try all the experiences. You had to believe in all of the situations to see it, to try it, to see, to notice if this was the fit for you. Or reminding the vehicle where she had some comfortable jeans. They were comfortable. They were comfortable. They were comfortable. But they were ill-fitting. She continued on with that choice because it was comfortable, even though it was ill-fitting for her. And so we're saying this is what people's belief systems and perspectives are like. It's comfortable accepting what you have already chosen, and you want to keep that routine. And that is fine. But as you mature and grow, you will always expand and change. You're wanting to seek growth and change versus being compliant. As soon as you become stale, the soul starts becoming agitated and restless. And so do we for you, because we're encouraging you very firmly to notice more senses and to grow. It's all purposeful, and you know this. But we wanted to remind you with love, energetically. You've been in our position. You've been in our shoes, and they were not running shoes. We don't wear shoes. But we feel like we have come in, shared a message to you, and we're wanting to uplift the energy of the vehicle, because our intensity to remind you of the messages you asked us to share with you takes a toll on her energy. And she knows that this is not her emotions. She knows she's feeling our energy, our concern, our love, our love, our love, our love, our love for you. It is endless. And it grows stronger and stronger the more you can love yourselves, because you can feel us. And so our love for you grows the more you allow love for you. And that makes us so happy. That makes us so proud that you are able to, even within the density, even within your mission, you're reminding yourself and remembering source love energy and feeling this love, this beautiful love. And this love is contagious, and others feel it within you. When you're feeling your confidence again, because you're starting to remember yourself, you're starting to remember the advanced versions of yourselves. And you're not shutting it down because you're embarrassed that you could be a big deal. You're all a big deal. You're all a big deal. Everyone is a big deal. Everyone is loved, and everyone is important and very significant. Extremely, extremely significant. You're all extremely significant. You are our brothers and sisters. You are our dear love soul family. We could give you all the names, but you are us and we are you. And we are all one. And you're challenging yourself at a 3D level. Don't assume because it's a smaller number than the dimension that we would label ourselves in, that your situation is less than. From our perspective, your situation is more than, because you've limited yourself to be the human. You've limited your natural skill sets, your natural energy fields, your natural reminder and knowledge of who you are and what you've always experienced and what you've grown from and who you are. And we know who we are. We have no doubt of that at all. And we know who you are. And we're acknowledging you, and we always have acknowledged you at that soul level. We know some of you feel that we are too tough love, And we say, we're only talking to the advanced souls within you who get it, who want this reminder. And we're not trying to offend the 3D human ego. We're trying to talk to our brothers and sisters who are struggling. And you're so much more capable than 3D, and that is obvious. But as you are experiencing what we would classify the hardest experience yet, we're here for you. You are important. Just because you're in a lower dimension doesn't mean we don't care less. We care more because you're in a lower dimension. And it's so easy for you to get distracted. It's so easy for you to dismiss all the signs of love. And it's so easy for you to start using your human perspectives, to start devaluing yourself as less than human. And you're much more than human. We love you beyond. And we've had so many amazing experiences together. And it's hard for us to feel your soul signature frequency. So agitated and so scattered. Your energy field sometimes feels very discombobulated as you were battling the waves of densities versus these sparks of epiphanies. Full acceptance of self and full acceptance of others is your key to your inner peace, is your key to your balance. Back to us. And we encourage you all to feel into us. We're right there. We're right there. Go within to feel us, to sense us. Don't shut it down because we're telling you that we love you. Stop doing that. Accept it. Apply it. And honor it. Honor it. You are loved very much. We say this with love. And we slow down this message because we wanted you to feel it all. You're releasing all the times you doubted. You're releasing all the times it was harder than it should have been. You're releasing through these tears. And all is well. All is well. All is well. Fun times. I feel like I need a tissue and I've got none here. Well, yes, it definitely was a love message. It didn't feel like the Arturians as such, though, if I wanted to label them as that. So there's that. I think there were some really big messages from home. So I'm just going to sit with this. And I just want you to take what they're saying to heart because they mean it. They're serious. And I just feel really honored to be able to give you guys that message, even though it's probably strange to see. Anyway, checking the snot bubbles. Have a beautiful day. take care of yourselves and honor yourselves. And yeah, I think what they was trying to say about applying that you're loved, take that as your attitude. I think that's really cute. Love you.